Hi everyone, this is Nate here at Nate's English in Kameoka, Japan. This is the second video in a series about Greek and Latin roots. Remember that roots are pieces of words. Many words in English have these roots, so learning them is a really efficient way to improve your vocabulary. These are like English's version of kanji. So in this video, we're going to look at two new roots and some words that use them. So let's get started. The first root that we'll talk about is geo. This root comes from Greek and it means earth. So here's a word that uses it, geography. So you can see here we have geo, which means earth, the earth, and graphy, which is a form of another Greek root, graph, which means writing. So geography is writing about the earth. Just to give a little more detail there, geography is what happens on the earth and the interaction of humans with their environment. Oftentimes people just think of geography as where things are, where the countries are, for example, or where rivers are, but it's a little more involved than that. So in Japanese, this word is chiri. Next word is geology. So again, we have geo, which means the earth, and this other part, logi, is the Greek root that means the study of. So geology is the study of the earth. That may sound very similar to geography. So a little more detail here. Geology is the science of the earth that focuses on rocks and processes by which they change over time. So geology studies the structure of the earth above and below the surface. In Japanese, we say chishitsugaku. Okay, then we also have geometry. So again, geo is the earth, and metry, this is a form of meter, which means measure. So when we study geometry, we are studying how to measure different features of the earth or different shapes on the earth. And the Japanese is kikaraku. The name George, this is a very common name in Western cultures. This is actually coming from the Greek root geo. So you can see geo here in the first part of the name. The name specifically comes from Georgos, which is a Greek word that means farmer. So a farmer is someone who works the earth. So here we have many different famous people named George. Okay, the next root is meter. We mentioned this a couple slides ago. This is a Greek root that means measure. So I think everyone knows or has seen one of these instruments before. This is a thermometer. The first part of the word, therm, this is a Greek root that means heat. And then again, meter means measure. So a thermometer is something that measures heat. The Japanese is ondoke. If you drive, I'm sure you look at this part of your dashboard all the time. This is the speedometer. So speed, this is the English word for speed. And meter, which means measure. So this thing in your car measures your speed. And here's the Japanese word, sokudoke. We mentioned geometry earlier when we were talking about geo, but this word is a combination of two Greek roots. So the earth and meter, to measure. And we had mentioned the Japanese word before too. Okay, and then we have centimeter. Centi, this is a form of the Latin root cent, which means 100. And then meter again is measure. So if you measure 100 of these units, that will give you 1 meter. And then the Japanese is centimeter. This word is perimeter. So the first part, peri, is, it's a root, I forget whether it's Latin or Greek, but it means around, and meter is measure. So when you calculate the perimeter of an object, you're finding the measurement around it. And this Japanese is shui no nagasa. Okay, well, that's it for this video. We just took a look at those two roots, geo and meter. So when you're studying English, reading something, for example, see if you can find some words that include these roots. All right, well, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.